Dave's of Thunder is taped before a live studio audience.
Dave, 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 Dave. Dave, 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 Dave. Dave, Dave, and Dave. Dave, Dave, and Dave. David and Dave.
Hi and hello, podcasters. I hope all's well wherever you are. Welcome to episode whatever of Dave's of Thunder. It's your old pal Dave Damashek here. David Feeney over there. How you doing, fella?
How are you, more importantly? This is a gigantic week for you.
It is a big one. It is a big one. We're about 2 years removed from our memorable visit to the farmer's market on Father's Day when your beloved and your little girl ditched town in favor of I don't even know what. But
was that 2 years ago? Was that 2 years ago when that happened? When you bailed me out? The greatest thing you've ever done as a friend for me?
Well, I want a reunion of that day, and I want it sooner rather than later. We'll get to that later on. Let's start with happy birthday to my favorite ball player of all time, number 39, the Cobra, Dave Parker, celebrating his 69th birthday now.
He's 69 years old?
So, what do you think, old or young?
I, for some reason, thought he would have been much younger than that, like 59, 60, something like that, like a decade or it's crazy.
There's nothing that's a bit. There are a few things, at least, that bum me out more than when I hear the ding on the text on my phone, and it's a photograph from David Feeney letting me know of a celebrity or a ball player or whatever, and how old he is now or she is now, or how old they were when they did something, and it's younger than what I am and what he is right now. I just had one of those myself. I was watching. I love the movie The Freshman. I'm wild for it. And I hadn't seen it in probably a decade and a half, and I watched it again, and it was as funny as I remembered it being. And Bruno Kirby comes pretty close to stealing the picture. Mm-hmm. And I looked it up, and he was 42 when he made it.
No.
And Quint, when in Jaws, is younger when he makes that movie than I am right now.
Robert Shaw is younger than you right now?
And I can't confirm
Robert Shaw?
this. Yeah, and I can't confirm this, but somebody told me, you might want to look this one up, is that Burt Young, a.k.a. Paulie, in 4, when Balboa gives Paulie the robot for his birthday, that in 4, Paulie is younger than I am right now.
How old is Paul? He can't be much younger than 50. I guess that makes sense. That's 85. That's 30.
Look at him. Just
35
look at him.
years ago. That means that he'd be, 85 now? He's younger than 85. That's old. That's old. No one talks about that movie as far as, look what it does for Russia. Look what it does for the United States. If I can change, you can change, everybody can change. No one talks about the fact that a robot switches gender. No one talks about the fact that the robot is weird, talks like a robot. And then as soon as Paulie gets his hands on it, all of a sudden it changes gender. It becomes a female robot who he says she loves me, calls her she.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Very strange. No one talks about that in the movie, that there's a magic robot in Rocky IV.
It is amazing, one, and like we've talked about before, and now we're gonna talk about it again, is that there is not a career, this is more your area of expertise, but in a series of movies, has anyone ever developed the character arc of Paulie?
Yeah.
The redemption story of Paulie, who in the first Rocky abuses his sibling and her turkey on Thanksgiving. He shoves it to the ground.
Tosses the turkey out the door. Also
pick it up!
If you want to go outside and get it, also takes the ball bat to the silver.
Right.
On Christmas.
And then he's adorable. He lives with them. They like him so much.
He does redeem himself in that movie. That's one of the things that I love about that movie so much, is that at the end, when Adrian's running,
gets the ropes.
She goes, Paulie, he lifts the ropes. He lifts
his
the ropes, that gets her in. That's his
one virtue.
Yeah.
Right. He's street smart. And the one thing he knows how to do, he distracts the cops enough so that his sister can come through. By the way,
one more thing about that fight, though, as we talked about, is the fact that he brings a call girl to the fight. And when Rocky is going for the biggest fight of his life, right? To fight the champion of the world. right? And on New Year's Day, right, is what happens. And as he's walking up there, Paulie goes, "Look, she cost me $200." And then what does the prostitute say? $250. Just so you know, I'm not 200 a night. I'm 250 a night. Just so you know, that's great.
Balboa is all of his closest people who attended that first bout against Creed brought a hua with him because so does his boss. So does his boss.
The boss who put him up, who gives him like $500 for training, is a great thing. That's a great point to make as far as like once Balboa becomes champion, he doesn't talk to that guy anymore. He doesn't talk to the loan shark anymore. And you would think the loan shark who gave him 500 boxes is 80 to go then to trade, so he doesn't have to break legs while he trains. You think he would have a piece of him, right? You think he has a piece of Balboa? That Balboa's the champion. What happened?
Be a real shame, Rock, if I started singing to the media out here, right?
100%. 100%.
I got Frank DeFord's number here. I'm going to call him up and let him know what you're up to here. The Sports Illustrated.
Continue with Paulie though, sir. So with Paulie, then in 2, he's still mixing it up, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then in 3, he's living in the mansion.
By 2, he's a corner man.
Right down the street from me, huh?
Right. By 2, he's a corner man, and by 3, he's the wiseacre corner man, along with Mickey as Thunderlips, aka Hulk Hogan.
Right.
In that fight. Anyway, listen, we could talk.
And he's got a switchblade, and then in 4, he's getting robots, right? And then he's going to Russia again just to see. And then, as I've said to you before, and forgive me for repeating myself, what I love is that on the way to fight Drago, what does he say? What does Paulie say? He goes, if I could switch places with anybody, I want it to be you. You're all hard rock, is what he says. What that really is a goodbye to Rocky. He knows Rocky's going to get pummeled in that ring. What he's saying is, thanks for everything, goodbye. That's the faith that Paulie has in him, which is nuts. And then what happens in 5? In 5, they come back from Russia, and we find out Paulie signed over a power of attorney to some shyster, and they lose millions of dollars. Yeah, that's Paulie. That's Paulie.
Is he worse? Or, I mean, talk about that's who he'd want. Paulie would want to be Balboa. But is there a character who you would want less to be in the company of than Paulie over the years, given his many deeds? I always said about Gilligan's Island, like Gilligan, again, they find him like a lovable loser, and Gilligan, except that he keeps them living on this island week after week, year after year. It's like one time if he screwed it up, like, Gilligan, you screwed up our one chance to get off this isolated existence. Like if he did it once, maybe you don't drown him. But if he does it twice, that's the end of it, right?
You banish him. Yeah, you banish him.
No, you don't.
However you get him off the island, you get him off the island. Whether you kill him, you eat him, whatever you do. Put him on a raft and just send him out.
Gilligan, like they're angry at him. Anyhow, so how are you?
Look at him hit all. I love it. Go from Rocky 5 to Gilligan's Island. I'm not sure I quite got the transition there, but it's your birthday week.
I'm saying Paulie, I wouldn't want him in on a road trip, and I wouldn't want Gilligan on it either.
Whatever you say, birthday boy. I love you. Hey, I saw them. And by the way, I saw you yesterday.
I know you did, and I wanted to show
can we let
the
that cat out of the
spoils.
bag that I saw you yesterday?
I wanted to show everybody the spoils. And by the way, I buried the lead. We are now not just in your ears, but also available for your eyeballs and your hearts, as always. Now on YouTube/Daves of Thunder. Track it down. We spin the entire episode for your viewing pleasure now. And if you are lucky enough to be looking at us, you can see over my left shoulder. What a gift. What a fella. Yeah. What a pal. Look at this. He came over to the house. I had no idea he was even showing up. I was pantsless when he got here. And I came outside, and there were a dozen bottles of not just wine, but my beloved rosé.
I got him a case of rosé.
A river of rosé to celebrate my birthday. I'm over the moon.
12 days, damn it. I know you're going on a trip later this week. I thought that'd be cool. Beth, because I had been texting with your lovely bride, Beth, over the week as far as getting me on there. She was going to put me on the list because when you go to Damashek's to the community, you got to go through the security gate. They put your name on a list. And I was there. But I went there, and Beth, always being sweet about it, I was not on the list. That was the problem getting there. I would have been there earlier yesterday. Because what's the name of the security guard in the gate?
Ivan.
What's his name?
Ivan. If it's
Ivan was not very nice to me at all. But Beth was supposed to put me on the list, but she wasn't. I wasn't on the list. But then who did I see walking in? Were you two lovely little children walking into the thing with the nanny? The nanny was there, and the nanny's
back
the one
to nannying. We're back to nannying.
But the nanny's the one who waved me in.
So yeah, speaking of which, you don't have the 19, I trust, and that's the good news. No one over here has the 19. And by the way, we should mention society is gone crazy in the calendar year 2020. Let's view these next few minutes together as a respite from all of that, right? Well, I don't need.
Again, I'm not sure your transition from the nanny to that, but it's.
Well, I was just thinking.
What
I'm doing, I'm cracking a wine right now. That's what I'm gonna do.
Oh, very nice. Your nanny was very nice, but your nanny's the one who waved me in. What I liked about seeing the nanny, which I had never met before, but she knew me. I was surprised about it. Is my picture up in the house somewhere or something? Because she knew who I was. What I liked is that she stopped, because you've talked about this in the past. You stopped making her wear the uniform.
Well, yeah. I mean, during these trying times, I feel like it's unnecessary. You know, she's a person just like you and me, and I told her to, for the time being, not permanently, but her brown dress that we have her wear with the maid apron. Told her, keep it in the closet. Keep that in the maid quarters.
Is she a fan of the podcast? Because she said to be a big fan.
Well, clearly, I mean, you're a square. That's one thing. That's one unifying thing in our society now is the universal affection for Daves of Thunder. But what a bounty of wine I got. And also, if you're watching.
Because I am a big fan of yours, and I love you, and you're turning the big 5-0 this year.
How many times do we have to talk about it?
Because I love it, because you're turning 50, and it's a big deal to me. I've known you for a long time. You know, I'm glad I did this. I have a picture of you. I was trying to find a picture of you to put in the backdrop there. Mm-hmm. And this is the only one. This is the earliest picture I found of you.
Oh my God.
That's the earliest picture I found of Dave Damage. It's you and I at the farmer's market. It must be 15 years ago.
Oh, geez. You got it.
And then the next earliest picture I had was this one.
Oh my God.
Oh, the times.
This isn't much for audio, for the audio consumer, but you got to go check out the YouTube to see.
The first one was you at the farmer's market. The second one, it's you and I. That's you.
I love that jacket that I got on. Where's that?
That's nice. Downtown. Was it the Dodgers played the Red Sox in 2008? I think that was the last time we were. That's how long. That's wow. No kidding.
Oh, that's when they played the Sox in the Coliseum.
That's right.
Oh, that was wonderful. That was wonderful.
The farmer's market. Why don't we just hang out there for a while with that backdrop?
Perfect. There's nothing I'd rather do on my birthday than sit there with you. As we did, I think it was 10 years ago, we went there. Wait, now it's 2020. Was that 2010 that the Celtics and Lakers played in the NBA Finals?
That was 2008.
But then they played again. We went there once for my birthday. I was asked what I wanted. I said, I'll just go and I'll throw it on with Feeney. We'll watch basketball as the sun goes down. Can't ask for much more than that. I would do it again. But yes, we're making our way.
I'm so sorry to interrupt. Didn't we go and sat at the bar at the farmer's market and we saw the Celtics have that huge comeback from the Lakers? Wasn't that day?
That sounds right. I don't remember. But yes, well, I'm off to a lake with all four of the Youngs and Beth. Beth, by the way, just to show where my career is versus.
No, Cindy?
Literally, she's not coming. No, Cindy's going to stay behind.
That would be your fantasy, right? That'd be the 50-year-old for the 50th birthday. That'd be the fantasy. To just look out and you take both of them to the bedroom.
All seeds sown. Yeah, right. For me, and then between the sheets. No, Beth, as we speak, is literally on a Zoom call. I'm here with you. Mm-hmm. She's on a Zoom call with James Vanderbeek.
Oh, no kidding. From Dawson's Creek?
That's the one. She's talking
about Vander.
I don't know. They're cooking up some Hollywood business. I don't know.
It was work at least, right?
Oh, I mean, I assumed until you mentioned. Now I don't remember. I don't know.
You know, you and I were gonna do. All of us. By the way, where's Gary and Donovan?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
get in there already.
Gary.
There they are.
Hey, fellas.
How are you?
Good.
Coming up. By the way, we do have David Feeney, master letter writer, is going to unveil his latest letter writing campaign. I don't even know exactly what it's about, but I'm looking forward to it. So stay around for that, as well as a new song, an original from Lil D. Little Donovan's going to sing a song first. How are you, Gary?
I'm very well, guys. It's good to be back.
What a pleasure to see you. Everybody good at your place?
Absolutely. Can I just add to what David Feeney said before and say happy birthday?
Oh, well, I thank you. That's
Donovan, when are you going to be 50?
It's gonna be another 15, 16 years.
You don't know which one?
Well, it's like I'm in between 15 and a half.
Oh my God.
He really is the Pete Buttigieg of the show.
Class of personality. So 15 or 16 years, you're going to turn 50.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what? That's 2036?
Wait, what?
Oh my God! All right, Donovan. So Gary, so I got Damashek a bunch of wine. Here's my question: what'd you guys get him?
I got him a song.
Is that what the gift is? The gift is a song.
A song, yes.
That's fine. It's like my kids. You know, I like when they make when they do something artistic for me. I don't want them spending any loot on me. And Gary,
no matter what it is,
Gary's tried and true. He owes me nothing. I couldn't repay him in 2 lifetimes. So
I broke out the shirt. I broke out the shirt in honor of the occasion.
The shirt is great.
By the way, nobody brings the booze when we're all together as frequently as Gary does. So that alone is a gift from him. He always shows up with a nice bottle of rosé or otherwise for us. So I have over my shoulder, if you watch on YouTube, all the rosé Feeney gave me. Also, you'll take note of the fact I couldn't take it anymore. We're going off to the lake for a few days just to be away. And I just couldn't. I realized I got to cut this hair. I can't take it anymore. I took the shears to my own head, and I got to tell you, I look terrific. I look terrific. Look
you did it yourself, but you did the shaver. You did
I did the buzz. Yeah, I did the buzz all the way around, and I changed the length and all that stuff. And I mean, it's not a flawless.
So oddly enough, I'm going to show you. So Mrs. Feeney did the scissors to my hair over the weekend.
Oh, is that
my
right?
hair was crazy, and it looks god awful. It was good for a while, but she was just like, she was scissor hands. She was like, step, step, step. She had a few wines in it, and she was like, step, 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 and really just made a hash out of it. And you can tell this is just really awful. Like she only did one side of the head. Look at that. But it was the effort.
How are you going to be?
The effort that counted, my love.
Is that right? That was foreplay to an especially powerful lovemaking session.
It was a hair. She gave me a haircut beforehand and afterwards.
Oh,
it was great. It was like if we got turned on again. You know how it's like. You've been married.
I do.
Yeah.
And Donovan, everybody's well at your place.
Everybody's doing well.
To be Mrs.
I'm still
with
Jen, and yeah,
still with Jen.
Things are going good.
Leave with that. I'm still with Jen.
A delicious rosé. Thank you. Yes, one of my great achievements in life. What's your greatest achievement, David?
This friendship.
Number one.
Making this continue because so many other people would have quit on you and I didn't. Thank God I did. Because we're together. I think we're stronger than ever.
Do you really?
Yeah. Don't you?
Stronger than ever.
What was the high point of our life of our relationship? It's not now. When was it? The glory days aren't now. These aren't the salad days. When were they?
When
going to Bergen's?
Well, I mean, a low point was when you had the fancy seats at Dodger Stadium in Chavez Ravine, the really fancy ones right behind home plate, and underneath in the bowels of the stadium. When you go down the stairs, there's a feast unlike any feast you've ever seen. A feast to beat the band. They have a links table. I mean, they have a salad table. They have all these different things, and it's so thorough that they have for any given ball game. They have 4 kinds of linked meats available: a hot link, a bratwurst, chorizo, if you please. This is how great it is. And who did we see there? We saw one Zooey Deschanel, and there she was, this star of what was the name of that show? That Girl?
Yeah, it was That Girl.
That Girl.
It was called New Girl. It was on the
New
Fox
Girl, whatever it was called, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And we ran into her, and I came over, and Feeney pretended as though he had no idea who he was. That was where I knew where the line was. He's very generous. And
what are you talking? I introduced you.
No, you didn't. You
At
didn't,
all?
You literally didn't even turn your head to acknowledge my
You're
presence.
kidding me. I found that hard to believe, unless you were double fisting sausage links, and that would not.
You did that bit. You did that bit where you kind of like with your energy. It was like, is this guy with you? Because he's not with me, Zoe.
Right. That's how I got ahead in this business. Yeah. If I did that, I'm sorry, and I'll never do that again. Although I will say this: when you and I first went to Dodger Stadium, we saw Jimmy Kim on the parking lot, and he was like, Damashek was really in the dumps because of this, that, and the other thing.
Was I in the dumps?
We were
I'm at
walking
the
around,
ballpark. I'm in the dumps.
And I think he was still working on his Paulie panel then. He was like, and then we're walking, and then he sees Kimmel. And Kimmel with his teenage kids back then, and Damashek lit up like, "Hey, fellas," is what he said. He did not introduce me at all to Kimmel. Remember that? Remember that, smart ass?
Absolutely untrue.
Remember going that?
But Zozo, we had so much fun on the episode that I wrote, season 4.
It was exactly that.
11. Zozo, you were so great in that. I almost felt bad for the rest of the cast because you're galaxies ahead of the rest of them.
Exactly. That was word for word, except I call her ZD is what my nickname was for her. It was very, very sweet. We had a banter. But aren't you used to that growing up, to going behind home plate, like the spread? Didn't your father used to work for the Pirates or work for Pittsburgh Sports? Didn't you have carte blanche at Three River? I'm sure you went to Three Rivers on your birthday.
I did. And thank you for that masterful setup. Subtle.
See, Donovan, look at Look at that segue. This isn't my first show.
I do remember that.
Before we started spinning, Damon's like, whatever I do, we got to set up the Bill Robinson story. We got to set up. They want.
That's what I said. That's ridiculous.
Anyway, let's get to it.
I will tell you.
What happened with Bill Robinson? I'll try it again, Donovan.
Pretty good. Bill Robinson? You mean the platoon outfielder for the Pittsburgh Pirates, among several other big league ball clubs? That one in the same. Well,
go ahead. What birthday was this, buddy?
I wish I could remember the year. I think it was I would guess it was 1980.
Okay.
And so I was very young, and then we the old man got us right. He got a second row right next to first base, right on the first base line, and we were there. And these two guys directly in front of us were having a few throughout the evening, and it culminated at one point, probably 6th, 7th inning. They said, "Let's go, Dave." The two Pittsburgh Yinzers, like, Dave, let's go say hi to Pop Stargell and all the rest of the dates. And they jumped the railing. These were simpler times. Now I don't know what would sniper or something might take you out, but they jumped the railing. They ran on into the field, and the Pirates were warming up before the start of the inning. And so, they're basically, Pops is throwing it to the infield and they're throwing it back to him, and the pitcher's warming up and so on. And they go and they glad hand with Pops, the icon of that Pirates team. And then they immediately just take off, these two guys. They run away from Pops and they try to get to as many players, but the local police are out on the field. Now they're chasing these guys around, and they quickly wrangle one of the two ne'er-do-wells. They get him down to the ground, and that's it for him. That's his story. The other guy is more elusive, though. And as the cops are chasing him to and fro, and I wish there were video. Surely there must be some video of this somewhere in the world. They're chasing him all around, and Bill Robinson is out in left field, and he waves the guy over to him as the cops are chasing. He waves him over, and when the guy gets over to him, Bill Robinson gives him that hand ladder thing, puts his two hands together and boosts the guy up over the outfield wall.
Oh, great.
And out of reach of the boys in blue, and that was that, and the joint went wild for it. The place went gaga. That was on my birthday. That was probably
I love that.
That might be my number one birthday. This is number 2.
But you've never stormed the field ever, though. You've never considered it.
Oh, untrue. No. At Indiana University, I made my way down onto the field. The bar was set so low, and so when they would knock off Ohio State or even Iowa, that was reason enough to go run down onto the field. Sure, I did that. You never did that at the Carrier Dome?
No, never did that.
Pearl Washington or Raphael Addison or
my time was Lawrence Moten, John Wallace around there. I loved going to.
Wait, you didn't even see Cycli?
Didn't see Cycli. Cycli was before me.
Billy Owens?
Before me.
Billy Owens was before you. Derek Coleman too. Then
Derek Coleman was before. Would have loved to have seen Derek Coleman. I went once to the Syracuse Orange played the Miami Hurricane. Miami was number 1. This is football, and Syracuse was number 4 with Graves. Graves was our quarterback. And I was there next to these kids that I kind of knew from my floor. And one of them was like, I'm going to go on the field. Watch me go on the field. I said, you're not going to go on the field. And so he did. He was loaded. He jumped on the field and quickly did a lap of the Carrier Dome field, running around. So we were in the end zone, and he went all the way around the field, just cheering, and no one had saw him or stopped him. And then what he did was, when he crossed the 50 on the other side of the field, I could see that we were all watching him. He saw the Miami Hurricanes cheerleaders, and he saw that Pelican. You know, that Pelican. And he, at full steam, decked the Pelican. And the Pelican went down. And the Pelican wasn't moving. And then the Miami cheerleaders beat the hell out of him.
No way.
It was great. It was great. And the cops took him away. And then maybe an hour or so later, he then came back into the Carrier Dome. They just kicked him out. They didn't arrest him or nothing. Then he came back out, and then he started chucking oranges on the field. Then they got him and took him away.
I was thrown out of a Pittsburgh Penguins game once because I don't remember exactly why, but it was at that time of the year where gourds are prominent. You know, I guess it was around Halloween, Thanksgiving time. And so for some reason, my friends and I all had spare gourds on us. Okay. And I threw a gourd on the ice, and You
brought gourds to the igloo?
I threw the gourd on the ice, and I was removed quickly.
That could have killed somebody.
I don't think it would have killed anyone.
When it's a hat trick, you throw a hat on. When do you throw octopus on the rink, on the ice?
That's Detroit Red Wings stuff. That's they do the.
What is that for? That's for a hat trick or for a win or what?
They do that during playoff games. Okay. I'm not sure its origin, but yes.
What's a gourd, though? I'm curious. What's a gourd? Like, you just decided to do it.
I don't know why I had it in my pocket, but I threw it down onto the ice and felt good about it until
when they kicked you out. What happened? Did they just throw you out and that was it? Did they say, "Don't ever come back here again"? I know who your father is. That kind of thing.
No, they didn't make the connection.
They had already fired him by that point.
They probably had.
Speaking of your father, this would have been an old-fashioned great birthday show. We would have had your mother and your father on, but they hate me.
I thought about it. Mo Damashek would love the opportunity to come on here and kibitz with you and with me.
But they don't like me. They don't want to be on the show. They don't like me. They think I was disrespectful to them. I mean, it would be great to have her on and let me state my case.
Maybe, you know what? Over Zoom ain't going to get it done. They're coming out here at some point this summer. I think this calls for a face-to-face,
That's
even if you're bemasked, I think it's required that you look them in the eyes and tell them that you've grown as a person, that you've changed.
Do they play board games with the kids over the Zoom?
Oh yeah, we started that immediately.
Okay,
we immediately did Candyland and Chutes and Ladders, and now they've discovered. Mo Damashek discovered that there's an app that'll let you play those kind of games with kids, and they just sit there for literally an hour or two with old Mo and play video games with her. The two little.
Oh, great! All right, so I think Mo and I, until we see each other face to face, we should do that over Zoom.
That's right, and
Everyone
I think
watches us. We'll play some sort of Candyland strip. Candyland.
I mean, that's nothing's off the table at this point.
Lee won't mind, right? Your old man won't mind.
Oh no, that's not his thing. No, his thing is to sit in the corner. He'll like that. That'll be fun.
Before we get to Donovan's song, can we please? I thought this would be a nice thing because you're obsessed with your mortality.
Yes.
We can do a list of actors or famous people who passed away at 50.
I love it.
And what you'll feel great about is knowing that you'll live longer than these people. Knock on wood. What do you say?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's fine with me either way. But is it definitely a pick me up to be older than the gold standard, I guess, is Jesus. Like he went out at 33.
He did.
And, maybe, I don't know.
Nothing to laugh about, Donovan.
I think
when I swear to God, out of the corner of my eye, Damashek said Jesus died at 33. Donovan did one of these. Is that really right, Donovan? Donovan, is that really the greatest thing to do?
I thought my camera was off. I'm sorry.
All right, very good. Look at Donovan roll with it. That's the first time he's rolled with. Look at he's learning, Damashek. Are you still doing water cooler, jackass?
Oh yeah, still
What are you guys covering on water cooler?
Let's see. We did some more show and tell. Talked about trip to Idaho. Yeah.
Show and tell. What's show and tell again? It's just what it looks like. What it sounds like. Show and tell. You show something.
Yeah.
You talk about.
Yeah,
That's right.
That's it.
Yeah.
that's it.
Is there a spin on it?
What?
Is there like a bend on it or no? There's no like.
No. It's just sometimes we do arms reach.
Okay, that's nice. That's all right.
what does that mean?
No idea.
Whatever's arms reach from you where you're sitting now, you have to
Okay.
show and tell.
All right, buddy. All right. Hey, whatever pays the bills, right?
What the hell happens? And then what? Then what happens? Well, fine. So arms reach. What's the payoff then?
Well, how about that, David? How about we do that now? Donovan, play show. Can you arms reach show and tell with us right now?
Sure.
I'm sure your talent you're not going to be picking up.
So I have some lens cleaner here for your glasses, or you could use it for your devices. I like to use it for my glasses, but right now I'm wearing contact lenses, but my eyes get dry, and so it's, when I do wear.
Jesus Christ!
Are we supposed to be laughing now? Are we supposed to be laughing now? Or are we supposed to be laughing?
This isn't my desk, though. I don't usually do it here.
Okay.
The joke is always, that's like watching paint dry. I think we have a new front runner watching Donovan's eyes dry. That's even whoa. That's the show.
That's pretty good. That's nice. Come on, Donovan. Well, Donovan, let's see some dead people.
Okay.
Oh, here we go.
Bernie Mac died at 50.
Mac went out at 5-0.
50 years old.
Would it be better? Just let's take a group vote here out of the three of you.
Yeah.
Feeney's vote counts for 3.
Go ahead.
Would you guys prefer I check out this year? Would it be best? I mean, just try to, not for your own selfish reasons, but really, wouldn't it be better if that was it for Dave Damashek? Like that's the end of the story. Everybody gets it. Everybody got it 15, 20 years ago. It's been more than enough. And, now, good. This gives me a chance to be a martyr on some level if I check out at 50. If this stretches on any longer, it's just going to get sadder.
No, I don't think that. I'd rather you be around. I want to, even for one more laugh, although I'm waiting for my first one tonight. I think that's all I care about. That's all I care about.
Same. I would like done.
Want me to stay?
Bernie Mac. Bernie Mac, who I met only a couple times. It was so nice, really, really cool guy, because they shot below us on Belushi, and then because it was Malcolm in the Middle shot with us, and it was us, and it was the Bernie Mac show. And then one day, walking down the hallway, I witnessed this. I saw whoever played Malcolm, whatever his name was. Sure. He was walking down the hallway, past it. Oh, what's his name?
Frankie Muniz.
Muniz is walking past Bernie Mac. And then I watched this. Muniz goes, "Hey, Bernie." And Bernie Mac goes, "Hey, Malcolm." And they just but Mac was great. And I loved that show. I thought that show was terrific.
I never have seen an episode of that show. All right, let's move along.
Tackleberry. Tackleberry. We lost Tackleberry at 50. Remember him?
We did? From Police? Of course, I know Tackleberry. From
David Brash. We lost him. He was in a couple of Wesley. He's been a bunch of stuff. Yeah, we lost him at 50. Next. Oh, Errol Flynn. The Adventures of Don Juan. He lost him at 50. You're going to live longer than all of these people. Next. Hervé Villachez. That poor guy did 50. 50 years old. Next.
Villachez. Okay. Wait, I want to see if I can even name these people. Who is that?
Who do you think that is?
I can't tell. Who is that person?
That's Hey Ernest, Me Ernest. Jim Varney.
Oh, my God. That's Jim Varney. Ernest. Ernest goes to heaven.
50 years old.
Ernest goes 6 feet under.
There you go. Next. Who's that, buddy?
Johnny Weissmuller.
That's Max Baer. The famous
lost the Brown Bomber?
champion of the world, lost to Jim J. Braddock.
Wait, who's the? Oh, Schmeling is Schmeling's the one who Joe Louris restored the Stars and Stripes to the top of the sports mountain, and soon after, our boys over there in Europe and over in Asia took care of business and returned the U.S. of A to its rightful. I don't know. Let's go next.
You're no way you're going to know this guy.
I know him. I didn't know he died at 50, though. 50. Twilight Zone, Rod Serling.
Rod Serling died at 50. Good for you. Donovan, you know who Rod Serling is?
I do, yes.
Very good. Next.
McQueen.
We lost it. I can't believe we lost him at 50.
Can you believe that he's gone and now so too we lost? We didn't really do a show around that, but Bob Evans left us as well a few months ago. Now both of them.
Right, that's right.
The two central players in the in one of Hollywood's most fascinating melodramas ever, three-way melodramas.
Married to Alan McGraw. They put Alan McGraw in the movie The Getaway, and he was too busy running a studio at that time. Next thing you know, it's him and Alan McGraw.
Losing your lady always hurts.
When you lose it for the number one movie star in the world, you feel small. Is what he says. Him retelling. He can't get a hold of her, and she was in McQueen's trailer. And he called, where have you been? She goes, Evans, I can't. She called him Evans. Imagine Beth calling you Damashek. Evans, I can't talk about it. It's McQueen, isn't it? She's like, you better get here. It's just so great. Next.
Is McQueen the coolest of all time?
The coolest of all time?
Who's the coolest human being that you've sort of experienced one way or the other? Via the movies or see him on the TV, ball field or otherwise. Who's the all-time coolest?
The coolest.
Because that's really been.
That's what it's about.
Kinda for me, it is. In these 50 years, I envy. I envy McQueen. McQueen never worked. And then, did he ever try for a lady? Was he, he never had to lay out any effort. And that is what I envy. And I'm sure that he never cared what anyone thought. That's what I lack in life.
That's probably right. I'm jealous of that too. I really am jealous of that.
Ali.
It's tough to beat him. But I was just going to go to that. I was going to go to Ali. To me, I think he's the coolest. Ali's the coolest.
Ali is up there. Yeah. Gary, Donovan, who's the coolest? You guys are younger. Who is the personification of cool?
Oh, I think McQueen might be hard to beat. Ali is also very strong.
Brando, except that then he gets fat and old.
Yeah.
Brando's not bad. What about you, Donovan? Who do you say?
I can't think of anybody now.
It's his birthday. Say Damashek.
Damashek is definitely up there. He does.
How about the Cobra, Dave Parker? He had such a devil-may-care attitude, he brought his Coke dealer into the clubhouse. That's really playing by your own set of rules.
I forgot to bring this up before. Question about Dave Parker. He was obviously the greatest right fielder of his generation, right? And he was with the Pittsburgh. When did he go south? Because next thing you know, he's on the '88 A's team when they beat the Dodgers.
Right. Well,
was it the 80? Maybe he's on the '89 team when they lost to the Dodgers. '89 team when they beat the Giants. I think he was on.
I'm not sure of the years, but he became sort of this hired gun at the plate. Like he would DH a lot. He got fat not very long after they win the World Series in '79. It's so he gets paid a lot by in that age. He was paid handsomely. Probably made about $75,000. But he got fat and he got a diamond stud earring, which was considered showy by the some of the older Yinzers. They didn't care for that, and it got so bad because he had because then he started with the schmutz and the pirate parrot was dealing literally. I don't think we've discussed that as a society.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
The pirate was the Pittsburgh Pirate mascot. Was dealing schmutz in the clubhouse. Doesn't that need a 30 for 30? Enough with Lance Armstrong and Bruce Lee. Let's get with the Pirate Parrot scandal, dealing schmutz to a big league ball club.
Is this confirmed? That's just spreading rumor and innuendo?
He went to jail. The guy went to jail for it.
Oh, how great! Oh, I got to read about that. I love that.
It's great. But then the Cobra became, like I say, this sort of this hired gun. He played. I should know this, but I think he was on the Red Legs in '90 when they took down the Buccos in the playoffs, and he played for the A's, as you mentioned, for some of those really good athletics teams, and he was on the Blue Jays as well. And think, he was definitely on them. I think he was also on the Brewers. He was one of those guys, but was successful at it. He was like the antithesis of Steve Carlton, who like bounced around and was a bum for a half dozen teams in the twilight of his career. The Cobra was a good DH, was a really productive, if fat, guy. I met him down at PNC Park on All-Star Weekend in '06 with the aforementioned Jimmy Kimmel and everything. So I was a VIP.
Hey, fellas.
That's right. And I got the glad hand. I got the glad hand with the Cobra. I met the Cobra down on the field. He was a mountain of a man. He's not well anymore. He's got the Parkinson's, but he's still a legend for all of time in these eyes.
He's got to be one of the top sports figures you've met, right? And you've met them all. That's pretty great. Meeting Dave Parker is pretty great.
But I Philadelphia gets a lot of grief, and Boston sports fans and New York fans. I will say, not exactly a proud moment in Pittsburgh sports history that somebody was so against the Cobra Dave Parker that they threw a D-cell battery at him from the stands.
Terrible.
A battery?
That man, Lee Damashek.
You think it's bad I threw a gourd on the ice? Why did a guy bring a battery to a ball game? Wait. Got everything, got a coat. It might get chilly tonight. Yeah. Oh, you know what? Also, give me the flashlight. Why? What do you need the flashlight for? It's like, no, just give it to me. I don't
know. Between bringing a battery and bringing a gourd, I'm not sure which is weirder.
I just had the gourd on me, which is weird, too. I don't know why I had the gourd. But anyhow.
Coming home shopping. All right, there's two more. What's the next one?
Go ahead.
Who's that, buddy?
Ava Gardner?
Veronica Lake.
Oh, from L.A. Confidential. That's who Kim Basinger character is cut to look like.
Cut to look like, right. It's she was in Sullivan's Travel. She's a great. I like the Gun for Hire. Like, really good actress. I don't
think I've ever seen her in a picture, but all right.
She was like 4'10". Also, she was really, really tiny. Last one.
What? She was?
Yeah, last one. The King of Pop. The King of Pop was 50 when we lost him.
Do you feel guilt enjoying his music? Because that's your milieu. People don't know that about David Feeney, that he loves the pop hits, unironically, which is fine. I don't care.
That's what I grew up to. That's fine. I mean, if there's baby making music in this house, it's Michael Jackson. Okay, all right. I'm trying to. You can. It's difficult. How about that? It's challenging. It's complicated. Let's put it that way. It's complicated.
All right.
Hey, what do you want to do now, Gary? Do you want?
Let's get to it.
Want to read some letters? You want to sing some songs?
I think we should sing a song and then maybe go out with the letters.
Oh.
Donovan, I will say this though,
it's Gary's show now, so whatever he says.
Donovan, are you ready to spin? Are you ready to sing, baby?
I'm ready. I actually have it pre-recorded.
What?
For you guys, it's a video presentation.
Pre-recorded.
Oh, okay, then Gary, with all due respect, that's got to go last. Then that's got to go last.
Fair enough.
All right, so let's set up these letters. So as you know, Damashek, I'm a crazy nut master, and when I get bored and I want to write something silly, I start writing companies. And so, as you know, I've written Dodger Stadium to get them to clean up their bathrooms. I've written.
You didn't like the urinals. You didn't like peeing.
I didn't like the urinal. I gave them a bad rating. Like I made up the fact that I have some sort of name and cleanliness for baseball stadiums, and I shamed them. I shamed the Pittsburgh Pirates for having the name Pirates because my great grandfather was murdered by a pirate. So that was the thing. I emailed just because
You're not doing a good job of setting these up. I don't think.
Please do.
I think it because just for clarity's sake, these are actual. You pen these moronic letters.
Yeah.
To Pittsburgh Pirates front office to Chavez Ravine at the stadium to bar owners, and they receive them, and then they provide you with legitimate responses, and then you continue to interact with them.
That's exactly
because I don't want anybody to think that these are made up or anything like that.
No, and there's actually response. I get responses back. Yes, darling. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. And so they email me back, and we'll show one of the letters. So this time I decided, this is back in November, and I think I emailed them. I first wrote them in December. I decided to because I was in a JetBlue flight, and I did not have a great flight, and so then I was like, I'm going to email them. All right, what am I going to get? Let me instead just let me just wind them up and see what happens. So this is the letter that I get that I sent.
So you wrote this letter to actual JetBlue.
JetBlue.
This is my favorite thing.
And they responded. Take it off for a second, Gary. Take it off. And they responded back to me. And then so what we're going to do in this week, and then next week we'll do the sequel. This week I emailed them. They sent me an email back, and then I emailed them again.
Okay, good.
This is what it was. All right, Gary, put it up. To whom it may concern, I need your help with a private matter. First, allow me to
What a start. What a start to JetBlue. I need your help with a private matter. Oh, then you've come to the right place. A major airline. Please continue.
First, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Dan Penny, and I'm a very successful movie executive in Hollywood, California. If you don't recognize my name, you'll recognize my work. As president of Penny Pictures.
Exact. I'm a successful Hollywood exec. And then in parentheses, directly behind it, executive, indicating that the exec was short for executive. All right, go ahead.
If you don't recognize my name, you'll recognize my work. As president of Penny Pictures, I produced the buddy cop comedy Fred and Butter with Jeff Goldblum and Margaret Cho. And Oi Blood, a thrill about a Jewish vampire losing Manhattan starring Jeremy Piven, a friend.
Name drop right out of the gate. You got their attention.
To say I'm a big deal is an understatement, which is why I hope you'll handle my particular problem delicately. On November 19th, I had sex on one of your planes.
Right before Thanksgiving.
Let me do what I do for a living and paint you a picture. Flight 164 in San Francisco to LA. I was in my mint class seat when an attendant, Amy, great game, sweet caboose. Sorry, that's how we talk in show business. Handed me a note.
That is how all the movie execs talk in the 21st century. Great game, sweet caboose.
She handed me a note from a female passer inviting me to have intercourse in the mint class restroom. I know it's gauche to have considered this, but I'm an artist. You never know where the next big movie idea comes from. So I finished my juice and went to the restroom and waited until the most gorgeous woman I've ever seen entered, eating a sandwich. You ready? She asked. I was. Cut to, industry term meaning go to. 20 minutes later, and me and this gift from God had finished our elegant, sweaty business. Not to brag, but I was terrific. To avoid looks on the way back to our seats, she suggested she exit first. I wait a minute, then I leave. Before she left, I asked her name. She put her finger to my lips, whispering, "No name, stupid." Picked up her sandwich off the counter and left.
So the sandwich was there, and she kept it the whole time. Okay.
Keep going. When I got to my seat, Amy informed us there was heavy turbulence. Ooh, great movie title. And we couldn't leave seats. FYI, there was no turbulence. Amy was probably jealous. And once we landed, in all the deplaning hullabaloo, I never saw my dream woman again. This is where you come in. I'm in love with this woman. I want you to find her pronto. I don't know her name or seat number. The only lead I have is the note I was slipped. I've attached a picture in case you need a handwriting sample. Can you help me? Do you have a special department reserved for high-profile men like myself? All I ask is to find her, show decorum in contacting me. My fiancée, Megan, is very jealous. She's also pregnant, so there's that.
Man, this is how Hollywood execs are, man. You nailed this.
She's also pregnant, so there's that. I'm not putting that on you. I'm just letting you know the type of bind I'm in. All right. you're a big company, so no amount of bananas, money will sway you. So to sweeten the deal, I'd like to offer you and a JetBlue employee 2 VIP passes to the premiere of Penny Pictures' next romantic comedy, Nancy Meeting Hugh Here. Starring Kathy Moriarty and Joe Namath. Let me know we're in bed on this, and I'll send details. We also need a venue.
Kathy Moriarty and Namath just shot a picture together?
Called Nancy Meeting Hugh Here, which is pretty great. Sincerely, D. Penny. P.S. I know this is a weird time to bring it up, but my monitor at my seat was broken, so I couldn't watch TV on my flight. If you could also make that right, I would appreciate it.
That's an overreach.
And there's a note that
the classy sandwich eating Dave. I've never gotten one of these notes myself from a stranger, so it's shocking to me.
Written on a JetBlue napkin is the invitation to go to the bathroom.
Effing the John. Wow.
So there you go. And then I think it was a month later. They responded. And so here's the response. Pretty standard, I would think. From JetBlue.
Again, somebody at JetBlue got this letter and is reading it. That's the
and they responded. Dear Mr. Penny, thank you for contacting JetBlue. We respectfully regret to inform you that we are unable to fulfill your request.
Oh.
It is our policy not to divulge the identities of JetBlue passengers, no matter how personal the circumstance or adamantine the request. It is also not our policy to accept gifts or gratuities in any form. We consider this matter closed.
Somebody found a thesaurus.
We also regret you were unable to enjoy our in-flight entertainment. In accordance with our customer bill of rights, we have issued you a service credit in the amount of $15, which has been applied to your travel bank. Information on using your credit has been sent to the email address associated with the travel bank account. Please understand that even though the results from this situation are not as you would have liked them to be, we do value you as a JetBlue customer and hope to provide you with a renewed experience in the future. Go down, buddy. Regards, Michael, the customer commitment crew, JetBlue Airways crew member, blah, blah, blah. So that was their response.
Oh, my God.
Not yet, Gary, not yet. So then that was the response. So I sat on that for a little while, and this is early in the year before all the pandemic started. I decided to email them back. If you're ready, Damashek.
Oh, I'm ready. I do want to. I just love that this Michael character. Do you think he passed this around? I
don't know. He may have, but it's pretty great that someone spent their time having to go through this stuff.
Oh, great. Okay. When you're ready, please proceed. So then you responded. Okay.
So I decided I forget when I responded. I decided to mix it up and respond as how I thought a powerful movie executive named Dan Penny would respond.
I mean, the best of all that there is a piece of evidence on the napkin. It's just
right. And the fact that, I mean, think about that, just big picture. I had sex in your restroom and on your plane, and I want you to help me find this woman. Is just lunacy. It's just lunacy. I get that she clearly is a Bulgarian person. It's just lunacy that someone would request that. And also, he's got. I like that Megan comes back and the Dan Penny. Dan Penny and Megan are always kind of linked in the old.
I feel like Bill Robinson is giving me one of them hand ladders and boosting this birthday up and over that game on my birthday. I'm drinking rosé, eating Chex Mix, and listening to these letters. I can't imagine a better way to spend my special day.
My pleasure. Let's go to the next one and see. So this is actually. So I emailed them back. This is from Dan Penny, the JetBlue.
Your subject line is, "Are you effing kidding me?"
From Dan Penny, the Dear JetBlue. Dear Michael, boy, did you mess with the wrong swinging dick. It's been a few months since I wrote you, so in case you've forgotten who I am, I'll remind you. My name is Dan Penny, and I make feature films in Hollywood, California. Not just popcorn movies, we do prestige pictures too. Our latest is about the socio-political challenges a professional basketball player faces when he falls in love with a little person. It's called We
Too. We Too. W-E. A professional basketball player. Continue. Falls in love with a little person, and the movie's called We Too.
Called Me Too.
Oh man.
It's called We Too. And it made some serious waves at the Fresno Film Festival.
Fresno was a prestige pictures after all, so.
I bring this up not to shove my success in your face, but to show you that at Penny Pictures, we're not afraid of tackling hard issues, and we're certainly not afraid of a fight. Last December, I emailed JetBlue about my desire for help in locating a woman I was intimate with on one of your flights. And in January, you told me to go to hell. Well, since January, that's exactly where I've been. Hell. I can't get this siren out of my mind. I've tried to have relations with my fiance Megan, and not to get personal, but I haven't been able to put acid in the seats, so to speak. She thinks it's the cocaine. Boy, if she only knew.
This is your pregnant fiance. All right, go ahead.
You did this, Michael. In December, I offer you the carrot. Now you're getting the stick. I retain the services of a Beverly Hills private investigator to take over your investigation. His name is Gene Godlewski. His clients call him Snoops. He's reputable and extremely expensive. Not that it matters to me. I'm loaded. If you do not extend Snoops and his team every courtesy, there will be the following consequences. 1, all JetBlue flights will be forbidden from showing any movie produced by Penny Pictures. And 2, all stories in development.
Hardball.
And 2, all stories in development at our company that have anything to do with the airline business will be killed. This includes our adaptation of the 90s situation comedy Wings.
Now you're making all of America pay.
Apologies for hitting you in the wallet like this, but apparently it's the only thing that will get your company's attention. I wouldn't have gotten this far in show business without being a rotten son of a bitch. As Greg Oden's character Legs Coleman says in We Too. It takes a big man to act so small. He's right.
Greg Oden didn't last long in the NBA, but he was there long enough to gather some real wisdom.
He's right. Sincerely, D. Penny. P.S. I do appreciate the $15 you'll be depositing in my travel bank account for my faulty seat monitor. It was very thoughtful. And I copied Gene Godlewski.
See, Snoops Godlewski.
Snoops Godlewski. And so they emailed me back, man. But did they email me back? We'll set that up next week. We'll show that next week. And then my response to them.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
I loved it.
C minus, Donovan says. I liked it better.
God.
I thought it was better than that. I thought it was pretty good.
I am sweating. I would encourage everyone to go to youtube.com/Daves of Thunder because we were laughing so hard. There was at least 1 or 2 jokes that got laughed over. You may not hear in the audio. So funny.
I just liked that this guy is clearly, it just, with that second letter, did that one get passed around? Boy,
did you mess with the wrong swinging dick.
I like that Greg Oden is his star of this movie. We Too is that Greg Oden from Ohio State for the Trailblazers. He's the star. And that it takes a big man to act so small. You can see that like that climax in that movie being that him finding her. like you can imagine that movie. And I also like that Dan Penny decided to punish JetBlue by saying you're no longer allowed to film our movies.
You're pulling your features.
And also it's a punishment. Sorry, we're not going to make Wings now. We're not making Wings a sitcom. Pretty good.
Oh man, that's just great. Well, Donovan, now you're in a tough spot. Now you're expected to bring it on home here with a little.
I'm sure it'll be great. You know what? I'm sure it'll be awesome, and he's going to sing, and it's going to be. I wish he was doing it live.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. Hit it.
Been stuck at home for months. Green cans are piling on the floor. Nothing to tweet about. Can't take this pandemic anymore. Wish I could go back to when things were easier. I tweet about world events, jukeboxes and poodle skirts. I wish this Cold War would chill out. Shack in the 50s. What's Elvis's hair thinking about? Shack in the 50s. Polio sucks, I hope I don't get it. Shack in the 50s. I did color TV there, I said it. Shack in the 50s. Hey, Mr. Khrushchev, I don't give a rap about Sputnik and Eisenhower. More like Eisenhower for president. Bobby socks are the bee's knees. Shack in the 50s. I'll take extra cheese whiz if you please. Shack in the 50s. Is this polio thing getting serious? Shack in the 50s. That Ricky Ricardo so mysterious. Shack in the 50s. McCarthyism is gonna make my jerk list. Funny Liston is what they call me when I spin. I wish this Cold War would chill out. Shack in the 50s. What's Elvis's hair thinking about? Shack in the 50s. The Red Scare, I don't buy it. Shack in the 50s. Who the hell is Kobe Bryant? Shack in the 50s. Bobby socks are the bee's knees. Shack in the 50s. I'll take extra cheese whiz if you please. Shack in the 50s. Is this polio thing getting serious? Shack in the 50s. That Ricky Ricardo so mysterious.
Wonderful.
Shack in the 50s.
Wow, Donovan, some production behind you, as opposed to the usual acoustic. That was dynamite.
Tremendous, Donovan. Great job.
Thanks, guys.
Great job. That was
Bravo.
awesome.
Oh, that was good. We should stop now, right? What more do we have to
How do you
say?
go past it? How
Right.
do you go past? That was great, Donovan. Great.
Really nice, Donovan. And now Gary's going to do something in the talent show.
I'm done.
That's all I got.
All right, excellent. Just great stuff. Great stuff, Donovan, Gary, David Feeney, and the Rosé. Maybe it's the Rosé talking, but you got a butt that won't quit.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Those letters,
Love you.
spectacular. The music. Well, I guess we'll keep on spinning. We took a week hiatus, but we'll keep going. We'll be back a week from now for the big payoff of the Jet Penny Pictures. We'll see how that all resolves itself. I don't know what other hooey and applesauce will go on, but it will be Father's Day, and I know we keep talking about it. We really should either go to the farmer's market or to the parking lot at Bergen's to do it the right way. Or you know what? There are now a couple of children that are fatherless in Studio City, California. Maybe we should go and finally have that wake for Jacuzzi Pete on his front lawn. I don't know what we should do, but let's think about that.
We should talk about it.
On the upcoming Father's Day. But in the meantime, much appreciated. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. We'll get some more stuff up there for you. It's what is it, Gary?
It's youtube.com/Daves of Thunder.
Okay, and then drop us a line at Daves of Thunder Podcast.
DOT Podcast on Twitter.
And you can leave us voicemails, right, Gary?
Yes, you can. You can do that at 812-682-0044.
Well, a splendid birthday. I feel like the guy who got boosted into the stands away from the cops 40-some years ago. All right, for Donovan, for Birdbath Gary, and, of course, for David Feeney. Thanks so much, podcasters. It's been a thin slice of heaven.